know, I fell off. But I'm back. Welcome back to the Daily Becoming Podcast. We are over here healing, becoming healthier, working on our personal development, and becoming our best selves, and so much more. It is so good to be back. I am your host, your sister, friend, auntie, your transformational coach, Coach Nick. I am so happy to be back, y'all. Before we get into today's episode, a drink of choice today is water. Your girl is dehydrated, so it is all about rehydration right now. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm excited to be back. I took about a month off, the end of July, all the way up until just me getting ready to record this. I've had so many changes happen. One of the biggest changes was I had a fur baby that was my absolute heart for 13 years. My sweetheart developed cancer and took her down so rapidly. I did not have time to wrap my brain around what was happening to her. So on July the 25th, I make the decision to put my baby to rest. I had to take some time off, y'all, to grieve. I've tried to record several episodes since then. I had to scrap them because I was crying so much. I was so inaudible. You literally could not understand what I was saying. Um, Ooh, child, that was my daughter. Okay, I have two human sons, and she was my fur baby. That was my daughter. So having to let her go after having her since she was 6 weeks old for 13 years was so hard. So I took some time off to heal and to grieve. And before, when it came time to grieve and really deal with certain things going on in my life, I just stayed busy, and I didn't realize that until recently. There were so many things that I just started coping with. It got suppressed. This was one of those times when I tell you, God kept repeatedly telling me through people, make sure you take your time and you grieve. You allow yourself to grieve. And I was hearing that from strangers. I was hearing that from loved ones and friends. But it was my oldest son telling me. It was my oldest son specifically telling me, Mama, you take your time and you grieve like you need to because we all know how much you loved Promise Nicole. During that process, God does, when He does one thing, He's doing it for a lot of reasons, right? I always say that it's more than just that. It's way bigger than what you think it is at the time. And who knew that that ending of that time with her was going to bring up so many things that I realized I still needed to heal from. I still needed to grieve from. She took her last breath on the 25th of July. And then the month of August rolls around. And my ex-fiance's birthday is on August the 30th. And he passed away in September. So that was a lot of stuff to have to deal with. But also, it was the seventh month of the year, right? So that basically is like the halfway point of the year. And it's that time of the year where I examine my goals. I look at what I said I wanted to do. I'm checking out my vision board. I'm going through my list of goals and my mission statement for the year. And I said, oh, wait, man, I fell off. I fell off on a lot of stuff, y'all. That is why it is so good when Habakkuk says to write the vision and make it plain. When you write down your goals or you have your vision board up or, I don't know if you keep stuff in your phone, but when you go back and look at it, it's a great marker to see where you started, to see what the goals were, and to figure out, am I getting close to them? It's a good gauger. I looked at that thing and I started gauging how I started off was so incredibly strong. And how many of you watching this can say, "Nick, that's me"? You started out the first 5, 6 months of the year, even just hitting everything. Nothing could stop you. I'm all the way up. Like nothing could stop you until something stopped you. until, until something stopped you. Such is life, they say. Things are going to happen. Life is going to keep lifing. There'll be deaths, there'll be new births, there'll be breakups, there'll be relationships that change, there'll be growth, there's going to be increases. Your life is going to elevate, you're going to be changing positions, you're going to be starting businesses. Like there's going to be change, especially when you are going after change, when you are becoming better. You have to embrace all that comes with it. What we have to be so mindful of is that we don't allow the impact of the changes to halt us, to stop us, to literally, I'm going to say this, to literally stop us in the middle of giving birth. That reference, shout out to my pastor, Pastor Mel Keys of the Joshua House of Worship. So the first 3 days of the month, we have this morning prayer call where God has given him a theme for us to really pray about and focus on for the first 3 days of the month to get us through the rest of the month. And it happens to be the birthing season. And I was like, wow, God, how in line is it with where you've been taking me the last couple of weeks? And even for today's episode, there's a point when you are pushing or when you are going through the labor pains, even when you're pregnant, when things are happening in your pregnancy that are unexpected, when the pregnancy is getting way tougher than you ever thought it would be, when you're exhausted, you've been carrying this baby in your body 9 months, you're in your last trimester, you are exhausted. And then you got to push. Where you start to question, you begin to wonder, was all of this worth it? There are moments when some women say, I don't want to do this, as if you really can stop the whole process of that baby about to come out of your body. But you really begin to second guess because the pressure and the pain and the hurt, all of those things become just so overwhelming. But then you know you've got to get this baby out. You've got to get this baby delivered. So you cannot not push. You cannot say, okay, doc, I changed my mind. I'm going to wait another 2 months and I'm going to be ready then. No, there comes a point where it's pushing time. It's time to push. Well, that's how it happens with our goals. We are going after them. We are 7 months pregnant with these dreams and these aspirations and these visions and goals. And then the pain start to hit, life starts to happen, and you realize to achieve some goals, some relationships will have to end. You realize to achieve some goals, you got to change your schedule. You realize to achieve some goals, you got to start saying no. You got to start saying yes more often here and no more often there. You got to become disciplined. You realize that you are sometimes your only and best cheerleader. You realize to accomplish and achieve some goals, the consistency, the level of consistency has to be different than at any other time in your life. That consistency has to be there on days when your body and your mind, sometimes your money, your motivation, none of that stuff is lining up. None of it's coming into agreement together. You just want to give up and throw in the towel. When you have these things written down, when you can go back and look at your vision board, when you can look at your planner, your mission statement, not only will it say, okay, here's the gauge from where you are to where you want to be. Where do you fall in on this line? But it also shows you how far you need to go. You got to be brave and be willing and be okay with needing to go and check that gauge. Let me go check the temperature in my house. It's getting really hot in here, so I need to go check my thermostat. It's getting really cold. I need to go see what the number is set on. That's how we have to be with our goals. Y'all, it was getting hot. It was getting hot in my life. And the dichotomy of life and the ebbs and flow of life. I was in that gym and I was killing it, and I was losing weight, doors I was walking through, and places I was going, and people I was meeting, and opportunities that were coming, and I was eating healthy, and I'm just knocking out these goals. And then life, while my baby was dying, and I didn't even know she was dying. My baby was dying. Relationships were starting to fall off. So many things were happening. I began to reprioritize. Nothing wrong with that. But when I reprioritized, I should have shifted the way I was going to achieve these things on my goal list. I should have reshifted my mind. That there's a lot I could have done to continue on the path that I was on. But what I did was I gave myself a whole lot of excuses. And we have to be super careful with feeding our excuses with reasons and justifications. Granted, they were real reasons. I was exhausted. If you can imagine, I was exhausted emotionally, physically, spiritually. So what I did was I was feeding these excuses with reasons. And those reasons I fed with justifications. The danger in that is when you feed that little monster, he keeps growing and growing and growing. And the monster of excuses and reasonings becomes your best friend. And eventually he comes in and he takes over. In the other line of work that I do as a housing commissioner, this is one of the busiest times of the year for us. If I tell y'all the numerous workshops and meetings and task force groups, with all of that on top of everything else, I just kept saying I'm too tired and I don't have time. And those are lies. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was too tired. That's the truth. But I heard it said the other day, this man said we have 168 hours in a week. We sell our jobs 40 of those hours with the other 128 hours in a week. What am I doing with that? What am I selling that to? What am I giving that to? And if you think about it like that, 168 hours every single week, we don't have time to prioritize our health. We don't have time to prioritize our goals. We don't have time to prioritize our self-care, our families, our children. We don't have time to prioritize our businesses. If you work a traditional 9-to-5 job, you prioritize at least 40 of those hours. If some of y'all work overtime, you at least prioritize 40 of those hours. You sell them for someone else to buy at whatever your salary, your per hour work rate is. Then we can't say we don't have enough time. 168 hours. I can devote 5 of them per week to working out. That's 1 hour, 5 days a week. When you put it in perspective like that, right? When you put that into perspective like that, it makes you it really does kill the monster of excuses. So after praying about it and really sitting up and thinking, I was ending August, getting ready to enter into September. Today is September the 1st. And I had to ask myself, what do I want the rest of this year to look like? Granted, 4 months are left, but that's 4 months. So if my calculation is correct, that's 2,920 hours left in this year. I don't care that it's not January the 1st. I don't care that it's not December 31st. I can start anytime. Start over is okay. Anytime refreshing is okay. Anytime re-examining, pivoting, revamping, all of that is okay. You do not have to wait until January the 1st to sit down and redo your vision board and your dreams and your goals. I'm going to do it today. I'm starting right now. Right now, revamping my goals, my vision, my body, my health. All of that can start today. September is the 9th month. The ninth month of the year is so significant. This is the opportunity to start fresh and brand new, to birth, to release, to begin. To begin. It also means it's time to end. And instead of me looking at January 1st being my new beginning, this is my new beginning today. Literally, this is 8:21 a.m., September the 1st, that I'm recording this. And the fact that my church is praying over the birthing season, this is all in alignment with what God was already speaking to me. So I'm coming to you today. Not only am I being vulnerable and just really putting all my business out there in the street, I'm sharing with you where I fell off. But I'm also saying, if you have fallen off, if you know it is time to revamp, redo, refresh, revisit, start over, begin, maybe you didn't even write goals for the year. You can write them now. There's a lot that you can do with 2,920 days. There's a lot that you can do with 4 months. If you were about to throw in the towel, stop, wait, hold on, just hold on. Do not throw in the towel. I have 7 actionable things that we can do right now to either get back on track or to start fresh and start brand new. We are going to accomplish our goals. We're going to finish out 2024 strong and empowered and encouraged more now than ever, because falling off doesn't mean giving up. Stop feeding your excuses. Stop feeding your excuses. You got to stop giving yourself excuses. Definitely, you don't want to feed them. You don't want to feed them with reasons. You don't want to give reasons to the excuses of why you're not going to do something. Find the strength, find the determination, find the tenacity to get it done. If you say, I'm going to get it done at 5 in the morning, 5 in the morning comes and goes, that does not mean say, oh, well, I didn't do it today, I'll start tomorrow. You got 5 p.m., you got 12, you got 2 p.m. Reshift if you need to, but stop feeding your excuses with reasons. Well, I just don't have the time. Well, you need to figure out why you're not making the time. Where is your time being given? As the man said, you sell 40 hours to your job. How much are you giving away freely to social media? How much are you giving away to watching something that's very mindless on television that's not going to help you reach your goal? How much time are you giving to sleeping? I am not telling you don't sleep. That's not what I'm saying. But you know, if you in that bed sleeping extra 2, 3, 4, 5 hours when you should be up and working, maybe you need to start setting reminders in your phone, alarms that will go off and say, it's time to do so and so. Maybe you can get in the workout during your work day. You may not be able to go to the gym after work because little Jimmy has to go to sporting events. You have lunch break at work. You can take a couple of laps around your building. Figure out a way to make it happen instead of feeding excuses on why you should not make it happen. Number 2, acknowledge your setback without judging yourself. We're going to be very real and very honest and have to make gentle allowances because things do happen. Okay, I should have been uploading episodes this last month. Something happened that I had absolutely no idea was going to happen. But the gentle allowance would be, I need to take time for my mental health, my emotional health to heal. I acknowledge that in that time, I acknowledge that I stopped going to the gym a few months ago. I acknowledge that I fell off of my healthier eating habits. I acknowledge all of that. It is very essential to recognize that. That's how I gauge my progress. That's how I gauge where I am versus where I'm trying to go. But instead of dwelling on it, I'm going to accept that it happened and I'm going to refocus. I'm going to reset these goals. This shifting of the mindset will help me not dive into negative self-talk. That negative self-talk will also feed that monster of excuses. Not only will it feed it, it will justify the reasoning that you keep giving those excuses. So be very, very careful. You want to acknowledge, hey, I fell off. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be honest. I fell off. My acknowledgement of it is what's going to help me get back on track. It's what's going to help me refocus and revamp whatever it is that I need to do. But I don't need to stay there. I don't need to focus on that because I don't want to internalize it to a point where it becomes the focus. I no longer am focusing on my goals and setting myself back even further. That's a trick of the enemy. Revisit your why. We started off this year with reasons and whys on why we were going to do A, B, and C. Those reasons were what started us out the gate on fire. You need to revisit that why. What is the purpose and the reason that you wanted to start your business? Why were you creating a new stream of income? Why were you going to go work out? Why were you going to write that book? Sit down and rewrite your whys for each of the goals and put them up where you can see them throughout your home, your refrigerator, your bathroom, in your car, places that you're going to see more than one time in a day. And you can read that and remind yourself, this is my reason why. See, now I'm feeding myself the whys instead of excuses. I'm feeding me motivation. I am feeding me inspiration. I am reminding myself daily. I am doing what Habakkuk says. I am writing the vision and I can run with it. That why is going to help me run. That why is going to give me that power and that fuel to pick it back up and start running again. Reconnecting with your core motivations can reignite your passion and your commitment. Ask yourself, why is this goal important and how achieving it can impact my life? For some of you, achieving it is going to impact the lives of others. Break down your goals into smaller steps. Maybe your fall off came because you have this beautiful, big, audacious goal. And what you did was you tried to go and eat the whole elephant instead of eating it bite by bite. So my advice to you is to make everything actionable. So if you desire to lose 50 pounds, how can I make that actionable? I know going to the gym today is not going to knock off 50 pounds tomorrow. That's not going to happen. You lose motivation thinking like that. You lose motivation poorly planning like that. I didn't gain 50 pounds in a day. So if I want to lose 50 pounds, what are my smaller actionable steps? If I go to the drive-through 5 days a week, I'm going to make it 2. I can only go 2 in a week. If I'm drinking soda every day at work, I can only have soda 2 times a week. I need to make sure I am drinking a sufficient amount of water. I need to make sure that I'm going to see my doctor. I need to make sure I'm taking my medication. I need to make sure that I'm going to the gym and I'm working out. I have to make sure that I'm cooking healthier meals at home and going through the drive-through less. Large goals can seem overwhelming, especially after you've had a setback. But if you make them smaller and more manageable, if you make achieving that one big goal into things that you do daily, weekly, and monthly, as you complete these smaller steps, they're going to give you a sense of accomplishment. They're going to also build momentum. You did that, then it's not too hard to do that. And you know what? I killed it today in the gym. I'm excited about going tomorrow. I'm actually enjoying eating food that I'm cooking at home. And I can taste the difference when I go to the drive-thru now. I'm actually saving more money because I'm buying food at the grocery store and I'm cooking it at home versus spending $10, $15, $20 every single time I go to the drive-thru. So now I'm motivated. Now I am building momentum and achieving this overall goal doesn't seem so overwhelming, because the more overwhelming it seems, the easier it will be to give yourself the reason and the excuse on why you should just give up on it. Adjust your plan. Falling off may be happening because you did not thoroughly think your plan through. It's okay to tweak it. It's okay if you said in January, I'm going to go to the gym at 6 o'clock every morning. I'll take my clothes with me to the gym. I'll change and then I'll go straight to work. That was okay until March came and your job switched your shift. Now you have to be to work at 6 o'clock. That doesn't mean that you give up because, well, I got to go to work now, so I can't go at 6. You just adjust it. Maybe you can't go at 6. Can you be there at 4:30? If 4:30 is out of the question, can you go right after work before you go home? Can you go on your lunch break? Tweak wherever you need to tweak. Tweak it to make it work for you. It's also okay to reevaluate your approach. Maybe you need to get extra support. Maybe going at 6 o'clock in the morning is not the problem for you. It's you get there and you don't know what to do. You get there and you've done all the machines, but you feel like you need to do a little something different. Get your personal trainer. Get your workout buddy. They have videos everywhere on YouTube of people exercising. You can pull it up on your phone and follow along with the exercise program. Adjust your plan, not your passion. Create a routine and stick to it. Creating routines will help build consistency. Hear me when I say you may have to tweak the routine every now and again, but establish a routine to help you with your consistency. I'm working on the same thing. I am setting specific times during the week to work on specific goals. One of my goals is to grow my hair back. My hair is incredibly thick and it was very, very long. And I started a new medication, and the way my hair broke off was disrespectful. Disrespectful. But to start regrowing my hair, it's going to require me to create a consistent routine of hair maintenance. That is something else to add to my plate. But if I want my hair to grow, I have to create a consistent routine that's going to work for me. And I establish that into my daily routine. And I remind myself of that why. Because I have to make it important. I'm going to be honest with you. It has been really easy on days where I've had 5 or 6 meetings to say, I didn't get up and oil my scalp. I didn't get up and do such to my hair. And lay down and say, I'll do it tomorrow. That's super easy. What keeps me going is reminding myself of what I want. I want my hair to grow and become healthy. So there are things that I have to do to make that happen. What is it that you want, and what do you need to do? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Make a routine of it. When things become habitual, they become easy and you do them like second nature. I'm going to tell you a habit we all have. I'm going to tell you a routine that all of us have and none of us need. We wake up in the morning and we grab our phones. We grab our phones and we start scrolling social media. That is a routine. That is a habit. Establishing a routine is not hard. Keeping up with it is where the challenge comes. But if you create that why and you remind yourself of why this is important, why you doing it is imperative to the manifestation of what you are working toward, it is second nature. It's as easy as waking up and grabbing your phone. Use positive reinforcement. Reward yourself. Reward every victory along the way. The goal may be to lose 50 pounds, but baby, we're going to celebrate a pound. They have what's called non-scale victories, where you may not see the number on the scale. But did you just put those pants back on that you ain't been able to fit in 2 years? Did you just put a shirt on that looks like somebody else can stand in that shirt with you now? We're going to celebrate every victory along the way. Here's another non-scale victory. I'm going to congratulate myself when I go to the gym, especially on days when I know I didn't want to go. I'm going to celebrate that I got them, did it. I'm going to congratulate myself when I know I knocked out 120 ounces of water today. Celebrate every victory. You need that to motivate you and to keep the momentum going. It is like adding more coal to your fire. Seek accountability. That is exactly what I'm doing right now. I done told everybody that will ever watch this podcast how I not only fell off, but these are things that I'm doing to get back on track. These are things that I'm doing to revamp and to start over. That's accountability. Because I done told y'all all this. Now it's going to be like, so okay, now, what's going on? Because you said you're going to do. Now that I've told y'all all this, I'd hope that you do some check-ins with me. I want you to ask me how things are going, right? Matter of fact, I want y'all to share, drop one of your goals down in the comment, because I want to check in with y'all. Knowing someone else is aware of your goals makes it more likely that you're going to follow through with them. If you have told the people on your job that you're not going to be smoking on breaks anymore, you're not drinking as much soda, can't do the 5. Now you got eyeballs on you, and they will call you out on it. Excuse me, now. You're not supposed to be out here smoking. What's going on? Stressing, you need some help. Like, what's going on? That's not water, that's soda. You said you're going to back up off the soda because your doctor say your blood sugar levels are too high. We don't want people in our business and telling us what to do. We don't want the accountability because we want to feed our excuses. We don't want somebody that's going to knock the fork out of our hand. We don't want somebody that's going to say, no, no, no. You said you're going to do this. You have to be open to have accountability. Find someone that you trust and someone that you know has your best interest at heart. I am telling you all my truth and sharing with you the struggle that I've had and where I've fallen off. And at least that I share with you are things that I am praying over and I'm implementing and I'm working on myself in hopes that it will help you too. Because we're not giving up. Falling off does not mean give up. It doesn't. You fell off, get up. Knock the dust off your little ashy knees. Wipe the tears off your face. Straighten up your back. And just start today. And I'm going to add this bonus tip. Stop comparing. Quit it. If you keep your eyes on you, keep your eyes on your why, focus on what you're supposed to be doing, not what they're doing, and then feeding your excuses with more reasons because, well, they can get it done because they have help and they have money and they have the resources, they have the connections. Stop that. Stop. I can't afford to go to the gym. She look like that because she can pay her gym membership. Parks are free. Walking around your neighborhood is free. Picking up that fork and putting the wrong thing in your mouth, that's... Stop comparing. It is you versus you. Do whatever you need to do to safeguard what you're trying to do, to safeguard the manifestation of what you are believing for. There's a better version of you. The best version of you is over there on December the 31st, 2024, calling you to you. And the reason why you tuned in is because this is where you are right now. And this is the very word, the very thing that you needed to hear. Because, see, I know you thought I was going to give you some other stuff to accomplish these goals. These are things that have to deal with us internally. That's what stopped us. Yeah, external things were happening. Yes, it was some external factors. But what was going on inside of here that we allowed those things to take over and cause us to not just fall off, but to stop and quit? So, dearly becoming, I'm excited for us. I am so excited for us. You know why? Because God loves us so much and he wants us to have the things that he put in our hearts. He put in our heart to get healthy, to lose weight. He put it in our heart to start a business, to write the book. He put in our heart to work on our relationships. He put in our heart to start going to counseling. God put in our heart for us to move. God put it in our hearts. And that thing that you've been feeling inside your spirit, all that is your inward man, your spirit, the Holy Spirit coming into agreement to what God already spoke, to the words that you already declared, to that action, to that momentum that you started at the beginning of the year. It's just all coming into agreement with God right now. It's calling to you. So I'm excited for us because we serve a God that loves us so much that he's like, come on, babies. Come on, it's not too late. I don't care that they've already made it across the finish line. We're talking about you. You still got a ways to go, and I'm here. I'm the wind at your back. I am leading you, but I'm also pushing you. I'm covering you. I'm also surrounding you, and I'm empowering you. Give your goals to me. Ask me for strength every day. Ask me to give you what you need, the creativity, the determination, the discipline. Ask me. I'm here to help you, and he's going to do that. So many things can happen in 4 months. When you turn off this video, I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper immediately and start revising, revisiting, revamping, refreshing your goals. Break those goals down into smaller steps. Celebrate yourself along the way. And get ready, because we will not recognize ourselves on December the 31st, 2024. Remember, not only does God love us, but he is rooting for us, and becoming is beautiful. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for praying for me. Make sure that you follow, like, comment, and subscribe, and take a moment to share. As they say on one of my favorite shows, Wildin' Out, pick up and kill it and kill it and kill it. Pick up your goals and go kill them. I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.